Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So in this video we are going to continue with the next part, that is the third part of The Merchant of Venice Act 4 Scene 1. So in the previous part 2, we have finished till the part where the Duke welcomes Portia, who is disguised as the lawyer Balthazar. Remember? Okay, so now we shall continue from the dialogue of Portia, because there was a very important dialogue on mercy where Portia compares mercy to rain. That has previously come in, I think, 2016 boards, and there are fair chances that it might come again, because this is a very important scene, as I told you earlier only. So this dialogue is also one of the most important dialogues. That's why I thought I'll make a separate video for this. Okay, so let's start. So we are in the court, don't forget that. We are in the court and we are here where now the lawyer, that is Balthazar, which is, we know, Portia actually has entered, and Nerissa is also there, that is the clerk. Okay, so the Duke asks that I hope you know what the scenario is all about, and you have come from Bellario. So she will consider her as she only, so that there is no confusion. Okay, she says, yes, I did, my lord, I'm come here. And Duke says that you are welcome, take your place. Are you acquainted with the difference that holds this present question in the court? So he asks and confirms from Portia that whether she is well acquainted, that whether she is familiar with the whole controversy that is going on, with the case that is going on, and the different sides of the case facing the court right now, if she is aware or not. To which Portia replies that I am informed thoroughly of the case, means I am well informed of the case. And then she asks, which is the merchant here and which is the Jew? Which the Jew? Because obviously she has not seen them, and that's why she asked to confirm who is the Jew and who is the merchant, that is Antonio. To which Duke says Antonio and old Shylock both stand forth. So he points out at the two of them. Okay, and Portia asks actually to Shylock, is your name Shylock? To which very dramatically Shylock says, Shylock is my name. So he's full of that drama. Okay, so he says Shylock is my name. So Portia says, of a strange nature is the suit you follow, yet in such rule that the Venetian law cannot impugn you as you do proceed. And to Antonio she says, you stand within his danger, do you not? So she says that yes, the whole suit that is going on, the whole strange case that is going on, is quite strange that he is pursuing. Because obviously, why is it strange? Because no one would go and ask someone for a pound of flesh. Never before has it happened that in a case, there is a case based on the forfeiture of the bond, and the forfeiture's condition is that he would take a pound of flesh. Obviously that has never happened before. So that's why she's saying it's a strange suit that you pursue. It is of strange nature. Okay, and she also asks and tells Antonio, asking for his confirmation that you stand within the danger, do you not? So there is a tag question. Learn tag questions, they might come in your ICSE language paper also. Okay, so you stand within his danger, do you not? So she's asking for confirmation that you are aware, Antonio, that you are at his mercy. You know that, right? So she's asking for that. And she also says, yes, I forgot that she says that this case that Shylock is pursuing is of strange and weird nature, uncommon. And she also says that under the law, under the Venetian law, nothing can stop him from proceeding. Nothing can stop him from proceeding means that it is totally lawful for him to ask for that pound of flesh. Even though it is strange, still it is not unlawful. It is not unlawful. He has, under the Venetian law, the right to take the forfeiture. That is the pound of flesh. Okay. And to which now Antonio says, when she asks that, you know, you are at the mercy of this Jew, are you aware of that? So he says, yeah. So he says, yes, as Shylock says, I am at his mercy. So Portia says, do you confess the bond? So do you agree that yes, you have signed that lethal, fatal bond with your own consent? To which Antonio says, yes, I do confess. So Portia then says, then must the Jew be merciful? Then must the Jew be merciful? So emphasize on the word must, where here Portia is using this word, this modal must, with the essence of being human, that he should be merciful, he should show mercy. What is mercy? Daya. उसको दिखानी चाहिए as a human being. If he is a human, he must show mercy. To which Shylock is offended, because he takes it with the perception that, being the lawyer, she is saying that he must show mercy. That is, he is obliged to show mercy. So he gets offended. Oh, what compulsion must I? Tell me that. So there is this heated up argument that why must I? What compulsion do I have that why must I? Tell me. Why must I show mercy? Why is it a compulsion? So Portia, now this dialogue is very, very important. Please pay great attention to it. Okay. Portia says the quality of mercy is not strained. Please understand that strained means forceful. So if someone, imagine a scenario that you ask someone forcefully that you are bound to show mercy. Is it mercy really? Because the nature of mercy is not to be compelled to do that, forced to show mercy. No one can be forced to show mercy. Otherwise it is not mercy. Mercy comes naturally from within the human being, isn't it? So it cannot be strained, means it cannot be forced on someone to no one can be forced to show mercy. I hope you've understood this line. The quality of mercy is not strained, means it cannot be forced upon someone to practice mercy. And now so first point is that no one can be forced. Okay. Second, please, I'll make you learn also all the points while I explain. So second is, it droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. So she is comparing mercy to rain. Okay, so second point, very important, she is using the simile where she compares mercy to rain. And she says mercy should fall from, means come from within the person, just like rain comes from the clouds. It should fall very gently, very softly. Okay, and like the rain, it should come from heaven. That is quite gentle. And mercy should also be, a person should also be merciful, he should be gentle. Okay, and the third point, very important third point, please remember, you have to elaborate all these points in your answers. Third is that it is twice blessed. Twice blessed means doubly blessed, means it has a twofold nature to it. That is, it is twice blessed, it blessed him that gives and him that takes. So how is it twice blessed? So how is it twice blessed? Why? Because it blesses both the person who is giving mercy, showing mercy, and also the person who is receiving mercy. Okay, so it blesses both of them, both the parties. That is, the one who is showing mercy is definitely blessed, and the person who is receiving mercy is also blessed that he is receiving it. Okay, moving on. Fourth point, it is mightiest in the mightiest. Fourth point, it is mightiest in the mightiest, means it is most admirable in a person who's strong. If a person is strong, he should even more be bound to show mercy. Because he is strong, that aspect, that aspect of being merciful makes him even more attractive. If you are strong and still you are showing mercy, because you could have chosen the other way, that is being harsh or being strong, and you can just not show it. But if a person is strong and then he's showing mercy, it makes him even more admirable, even more beautiful, even more attractive in that person. Okay, so it is mightiest in the mightiest. Okay, now first was it cannot be strained, cannot be forced. Second, it is like rain, gentle rain falling from the heaven beneath to the place beneath. Third, it is twice blessed, the one who gives and the one who receives, both are blessed. Fourth, that it makes the mightiest even more mighty, more strong. Okay, now fifth, it becomes the throned monarch better than his crown. You know, crowns are very shiny and beautiful and attractive with all the jewels studded in them. And when that crowned monarch, that king, when that person, that king who's so powerful shows mercy, it makes him even more wonderful than his crown. So mercy is more it looks better on a king than his crown. Now, sixth, his scepter shows the force of temporal power. Scepter, you know, scepter is that stick which rulers carry, which also had in movies also you must have seen, there is a stick with always carried by the maybe the villain or the powerful person with the tiger on top of the knob, or it is studded with jewels, or there is a big diamond on it, that stick. Okay, that is the scepter. That staff, that stick is the scepter, usually carried by the powerful leaders, political leaders, okay, like the king and the monarchs. So she says that, Portia says that his his scepter shows the force of temporal power. Now, what is temporal power? Scepter shows that he is politically, he has all the worldly powers, okay, because that is the symbol of power. That stick, that staff that he carries, that scepter that he carries is the symbol of his power. Temporal power means worldly power. The attribute to awe and majesty wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings. And people might fear that person with the scepter because he might be very powerful, he might be the king. Okay, so people might respect him, people might be fearful of him because of his scepter. But mercy is but mercy is above the sceptered sway. But mercy is above the power of the scepter even. People will respect him for the man that he is if he shows mercy. Okay, not because they fear him or because of his scepter they might respect him. No, they will respect him now. He will be, means that mercy is so powerful that it is even more powerful than that stick, that scepter. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. How beautiful. And it is an attribute to God himself. Because God, we always ask for forgiveness from God. Yes or no? For our bad deeds. We ask and we expect that God will forgive us. We are his children, he will forgive us. And you know, all these are references from Bible. Okay, biblical references of God. So yeah, Portia has the speech which is influenced by the Christian religion. Okay, so she says that it is enthroned in the hearts of kings and it is an attribute to God himself. If you show mercy, because God is, you know, the attribute, that is the quality of God is to show mercy. So whoever shows mercy has that attribute of God. That is, mercy is an attribute of God. So A equals to B equals to C. So if God equals to mercy equals to you, so you are equal to God. A equals to C. Okay, so yeah, no maths, not very good at that. So yeah, here she's saying that the one who shows mercy is equal to God, because this quality of mercy is related to God. So you are getting closer to godliness. Okay, next. And earthly power doth then show like God's what mercy seasons justice. So it dwells in the hearts of kings. It is an attribute of God himself. And earthly power doth then show like God's when mercy seasons justice. That is, that a person, earthly power, that earthly person when shows mercy, he resembles God. He resembles God. So he, with the earthly temporal power, he gets godlike powers also, God's power, because this power of showing mercy is not with everyone. The person who can show mercy even when the other person has done wrong to you, still you show it, you are really great and strong, because mercy is not the quality of the weak. Showing mercy is not the quality of the weak, my dear children. It is the quality of the most strongest, mightiest person. If you can show mercy to the person who might be your enemy, then that shows that you are really strong from within. So never think that showing mercy will make you weak, make you appear weak. It rather, on the contrary, make you even more powerful, and the other person more weak and powerless. Okay. So the way I am elaborating, you also have to elaborate in your answers. Okay, therefore, I hope you have understood the whole points and you will remember it. Okay? Therefore, Jew, thou justice be thy plea, consider this, and that in the course of justice none of us should see salvation. Salvation means mukti. Okay, so if you will ask for justice like this, no one will render salvation, because if God will judge us like you are asking for justice, if God will also start giving justice to everyone the way you are asking for it, because we all commit a lot of errors in life. नोइंगली और अननोइंगली हम सबसे बहुत गलतियां होती हैं. अगर गॉड भी हमें इस तरीके से पनिश करने लग जाए जैसे तुम कर रहे हो शाइलॉक, देन वी ऑल विल be punished, we all will be doomed, we all will be damned, that we'll go to hell. No one will be able to attain salvation. Okay, so we do pray for mercy. So she's asking him to show mercy. And that same prayer doth teach us all to render that deeds of mercy. I have spoke thus much to mitigate the justice of thy plea. So she's saying that I have asked you enough, I have requested you enough that you should desire to seek justice, but you should show mercy. Okay, to mitigate the justice of thy plea, which is thou follow the strict court of Venice, must needs give sentence against the merchant there. And that is what I have to say against your desire to seek justice, and make the strict court of Venice carry out the merchant's punishment. Okay, so I hope you are convinced. She's saying I hope, because I have said what I had to say, for you to ask, not to ask the court to give him the punishment, and I request you to show mercy. To which Shylock says, my deeds upon my head, I crave the law. So he says, my deeds are my responsibility, and I want the law to be upheld. I crave the law means I want the justice to be given, the penalty and the forfeit of my bond. So he's adamant, he's stuck that he is not going to change his decision of asking for the forfeiture, the penalty of his bond. To which Portia says, is he not able to discharge the money? So she asks him, is he not capable, not able to pay the money back? To which Bassanio enters the conversation. He says that yes, here I render it for him in the court. I have the money. Yeah, twice the sum means double the sum. That is 6,000 ducats, 3,000 into 2. And if that will not suffice, I will bound to pay it 10 times over. So I can do it 10 times, 3 into 10 I can give. And over on forfeit of my hands, my head, my heart, if this will not suffice, it must appear that malice bears down truth. So he is ready to give up his life. And he says, Bassanio says that I can give him 10 times the amount of the forfeiture. I can also give him my hands, I can give him my heart, anything, my head. And if he's still not willing to let him go, let Antonio go, that clearly shows that malice bears down truth, that all of this is done because of revenge, not for justice. He is not asking for justice, he is doing all of this because of revenge. If you really want the pound of flesh, I am ready to give, But if he still is not convinced and not lets Antonio go, then this is clear that Shylock's malice overwhelms his honesty. Because Shylock, that it will prove that Shylock is doing all of this because of revenge, not for justice. And to Duke he says, I beseech you. So he's being all melodramatic, and he's asking as a friend of Antonio, bosom friend, that to the Duke, that I pray you, Judge, I beg you, bend the law to your authority. He's asking, rest once the law to your authority. That is, change something, do something so that Antonio is saved. To do a great right, do a little wrong. So he's saying to do a great right, to violate a law, the law, he's asking the Duke to violate the law. Because lawfully has the power, Shylock has the power to take the pound of flesh. So he's asking him to violate the law, to break the law, to do the right thing. To do the right thing, that is to save Antonio, and curb this cruel devil of his will, and stop this devil from getting his whatever he wants. His will, that is whatever he wants. We have to stop him from getting this devil. So he's referring Shylock to a devil. Earlier also he has been referred as the incarnation of devil. Okay. Portia intervenes and she says, as a rightful, righteous lawyer, she says that it must not be. You know, when high courts and supreme courts give their this verdict, final verdict, when they give, it is, you know, read by the other students who are studying LLB. It is read because whatever decision is taken in any case, it is set as a precedent. Okay, as an example for further times, for the future times, that in this case, this was the decision. So if once a wrong decision is taken, then it will lead to more wrong decisions and people taking advantage of such situations. Then everyone will come and ask for the forgiveness for the forfeiture of their bond. They will break the law, they will break the bond, they will not follow the bond, and then they will ask for forgiveness. And then the court will be bound to do so. Okay. So she's saying that it must not be. There is no power in Venice can alter a decree established. So she's saying that no one in Venice is powerful enough to alter a law, to change the law that everyone has agreed upon. Okay, a decree as in a law. It will be recorded for a precedent and it will be used in the future as an example, and it will create a bad precedent, and many an error by the same example will rush into the state, and it cannot be. It will be a total havoc, it will be a chaos. If right now the law is not followed, then in future it will set a very bad example and many mistakes will be occurred in the future. So Shylock says, wow, a Daniel come to judgment. He's very happy. Yay, a Daniel. Oh, wise young judge, how do I honor thee? So you'll search all the history of Daniel. Actually, I'll tell you in brief, and it won't be as much, but you should learn about it in detail. That is, who is a Daniel? Daniel in Jews was a, we can say, a very great philosopher, a priest, we would say. Okay, so, and he was a lawyer also. So, great lawyer, okay. So, he's comparing Portia to Daniel. A Daniel come to judgment. Yeah, a Daniel. Oh, wise young judge, how do I honor thee? How should I respect thee? You are so great, because she's speaking in his favor. So, he's very happy. Portia, I pray you, let me look upon the bond. So, she says, let me see the bond, the contract. Shylock giving Portia a document. So he gives because I told you, when he enters, it is shown in many pictures of early times that he was carrying the copy of the bond and a scale and a knife. Weighing scale and knife. Okay, so when he gives the document to Portia, that is Balthazar. Here it is, more reverend doctor. Here it is, more reverend as in most honorable lawyer. Doctor as in lawyer. Okay, doctorate in law. So here it is. So he's again showing respect to Portia. Shylock, there's thrice thy money offered thee. Now once again she's saying, you are being offered thrice the amount. that you are owned. That is the thrice the amount of 3,000 ducats. Shylock says, an oath, an oath. I have an oath in heaven. Shall I pay perjury upon my soul? No, not for Venice. So he's saying, I have taken an oath. Remember, I have taken the oath by my holy Sabbath. Okay, the rest day for Jews. So holy day. So he's saying, I have an oath made by the heaven, and should I backtrack? Should I break my oath and make my soul guilty of perjury, of breaking a oath made to heaven, to God? Should I break it and make you want me to commit a sin? No, never. Not even for all of Venice. Never. I cannot do that. So Portia says, why? This bond is forfeit. And lawfully by this the Jew may claim a pound of flesh to be by him cut off nearest the merchant's heart. Be merciful, take thrice thy money, bid me tear the bond. Let me tear the bond, Shylock. Again she's saying, you take the thrice the amount that is being offered to you, and by this bond you are lawfully, you are lawful to claim the pound of flesh nearest to the merchant's heart, and he himself will cut him, not even a surgeon. So he himself will cut it, and he is lawfully claimed to do so. But she's saying, be merciful, take the 3 times the amount, and let me tear this agreement. Let me tear it. To which Shylock says, when it is paid according to the tenor. So he's saying, you can tear it. You can tear the bond when I have my forfeiture. Okay, so he's being so sarcastic. Yes, you can tear it after the debt has been paid. It doth appear you are a worthy judge, you know the law. So he also compliments Portia that it is clear. It appears that you are a great worthy judge and you know the law. So your exposition hath been most sound. I charge you by the law. So he's saying, you have been really showing that you are a great judge. You are a great judge as in you are a great lawyer, and your interpretation has been correct, that I am rightfully capable of worthy of taking the pound of flesh, and you must obey the law. You cannot back out. Now you don't ask me for mercy, you should obey the law, and I order you by the law which you must obey to go on and make judgment. By my soul I swear there is no power in the tongue of man to alter me. So he's saying that there is no power in any tongue of any human being to change my decision. By my soul I swear there is no power in the tongue of man to alter me. I stay here on my bond. So he again proves his adamancy and his stubbornness to take the bond, and nothing else but the bond. So Antonio says most heartily, because he has given up totally, he surrendered. So he says, most heartily I do beseech the court to give the judgment. So he's like the dramatic, melodramatic queen, heroine, and he's saying that most heartily, with all my heart, I ask the court to give me my judgment, and I'm ready to give my life. Portia, why then thus it is, you must prepare your bosom for the knife. So Portia says, okay, then get ready your bosom, prepare your chest for the knife, because he's going to cut it from your chest near your heart. So prepare yourself. Oh noble judge, oh excellent young man. Shylock again, because he's so close to getting what he wants to kill Antonio, and he is almost near to that. So he's so overwhelmed, so overexcited, that he again praises Portia that, oh noble judge, oh excellent young man. Portia says, for the intent and purpose of the law hath full relation to the penalty, which here appeareth due upon the bond. So the intent and purpose of the law relates to the penalty which had been agreed upon in the contract. Everything is clear in the contract. It is very true, oh wise and upright judge, Shylock says. Yes, it is very true, oh upright, oh great, wise and just judge. You are so wise beyond your years. Means you are much more elder art thou thy looks. Means you are so much more intelligent than your age. Okay, remember such older head with such younger body, something like that was said earlier. I don't exactly remember it. Yeah. So Portia says, therefore, lay bare your bosom. Lay bare your bosom. So get your bosom, ready for the cutting of the pound of flesh. Shylock says, aye, his breast, so says the bond, doth it not, noble judge? Nearest his heart, thou are the very words. Nearest his heart are the very words. So he clears that near to his heart. So Shylock is so bloodthirsty, we can see here with this dialogue, that yes, his breast, that's what the contract says, and he quotes the words from the contract, that is near his heart, nearest his heart. So he is all bloodthirsty and so evil. So the comparison to the wolf is quite right now, justified, which was made earlier. Remember the transmigration of the souls? Yes, by Pythagoras. Okay. Portia says, it is so. Are there balance here to weigh the flesh? So she asks, are there the weighing balance to measure the pound of flesh? He says, I have them ready. I told you he has that. The knife is there. Okay. So he says, yes, I have them ready. So she asks, have by some surgeon Shylock on your charge to stop his wounds lest he do bleed to death. So do you have a surgeon ready? Because otherwise, when you cut a pound of flesh from his heart, when you cut it, you'll cut his body. Obviously, he'll bleed so much that he will die. Obviously. So he's saying, it is no. Is it so nominated in the bond? Is it written in the bond? Is it spelled out in the bond that I have to bring a surgeon? So he's saying it is not so expressed, but what of that? It for good. You do so much for charity. At least you should show at least this much charity, humanity, that you could have. It is not, although it is not written in the bond, but you could have arranged for a surgeon. So he says, I cannot find it. It is not in the bond. It is not in the bond. Why should I? Can't find it in the contract. So he says, Portia says, you merchant, have you anything to say? So as if she's asking for the last words of Antonio. So Antonio says it. But little I am armed and well prepared. Give me your hand, Bassanio. So he is asking, like his last wish from Bassanio, that give me your hand, Bassanio. Fare you well, that is goodbye, farewell, and grieve not that I am fallen to this for you, for herein fortune shows herself more kind than is her custom. So he is saying that don't grieve, don't be sad because I am going to die. All of this because of the misfortune on your behalf, because of you, because Bassanio, obviously he has to face this day, his death day. So he's saying don't cry because of that because of you I am in this position, because fortune has shown herself to be kinder than she usually is. Fortune is personified here and she is referred to as a woman who is very, very kind. Okay. It is still her use to let the wretched man outlive his wealth. So he's saying that fortune has shown herself to be kinder than she usually is, and she usually makes a wretched man, totally bankrupt man, outlive his wealth, so that when he is old and has a wrinkled brow, he looks on his own poverty, to view with a hollow eye and wrinkled brow the age of poverty, from which lingering penance of such misery doth she cut me off. Commend me to your honorable wife. Okay, I think the video is too long now, and I'll continue because this is a long dialogue and very important. Once again, this Antonio's dialogue we shall start in the next video. Until then, subscribe my channel and also like the videos if you learn something, and see you later.